Okay,
is
but
too shit, bro.
okay, wait, did you hear me? Like I said that if
Yeah,
you
I
want,
heard you.
yeah. Okay,
Wait, what are we?
Like,
What is
I
happening?
don't really
I'll just
care.
get the bottom of it.
They're like having a discussion or debate or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it was a discussion, but I guess I'll just turn it to debate because might as well.
What's the topic?
What's the topic? It's I guess we're just talking about like White Hair Muzan or whatever. I guess if I had to take a character, I guess I'll just take Giyu. It's fine.
So what? So it's Giyu versus White Hair Muzan.
Yeah, but before we were just talking about his general scaling, but that's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
If he loses this, he kind of sucks. If he's on White Hair Muzan.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers.
Why can I not find it now at all times?
Yo, Jester, did the pedophile ever respond?
You're not gonna give me a alaikum salam? Nah, he's kind of in hiding now because I think he does.
Niggas in hiding. I don't know.
I'm gonna get him, bro. Don't worry. Assalamu alaikum, though. No, where's my alaikum salam before I the lion will make an appearance in this call, and the first guy to speak.
Yep.
Well, we know. Oh, you? Anything that speaks. Anything. But now, I have a bunch of them lined up today. So, yesterday I didn't have a lot. Today I do. Yo, Quintz.
Yeah, what's up?
Why are you just sitting here in fucking silence?
Nah,
I'm just waiting
for
till
a
this
scan
thing
right
is.
now. I'm looking for
Yep.
a scan.
Mm.
Looking for a fucking Gilmix.
Are y'all mid-debate?
In Missouri. Yeah.
Yep.
It's my fault, OGs.
You good?
I might just rate me a nigga.
Wow.
So,
How's my little brother? Ignore
Quintz,
that.
are you taking? Quintz, are you taking White Haired Muzan?
No, basically my sense is that Giyu's feast on White Hair Muzan don't really scale because
Oh
of like
yeah, we
divided
just talked about
attention and
that.
stuff.
Fine.
So that's basically what I'm getting at right now. And I'm trying to find the Gilmix scan where he talks about like how when Igor
Hey,
falls,
future, mic
Aaron
up,
goes
bro.
upon him, and then we can
Alright.
even tribute like Missouri when she was there, and she was just all like, "Yeah, we need Hajima and stuff." So obviously, the greater numbers that they are in, the more easier it would be for them to face Muzan. So then, yeah, it all aligns. But I'm trying to find a fucking scan.
Yep.
Unless you could just send it for me if you got them on file. I was just looking at these shits earlier.
Can you judge this, bro? Like,
I'm in the middle of doing something, bro. Like, I actually can't judge.
okay, future is banned. I'm playing. Hold up. Oh yeah, I'd bet.
I was dead ass just looking at the scan earlier, bro. Fuck is it at? She was glazing the shit out of fucking. Okay. Maybe I'm just on the wrong fucking channel. Okay, I found a scan that'll work in my favor.
All right.
Hold on. Let me get them more.
Future, let me check out scans. So what does it say?
Yeah, I just downloaded to my camera roll. I'm still sending them.
Yeah, well, wait. So just for progression's sake, I guess I can just like, does the scan just say that divided attention like affects your speed?
No, there's nothing in the verse that directly says that. It's something that's
Or no, does it like imply it though?
Yes, it's implication.
Okay.
And I'll explain how
it's not like something that I disagree with. But hold up, the disagreement here is whether or not like his attention is divided enough to where like it affects the speed in this context. Like I'm just questioning the threshold here, like whether or not it's divided enough to where it affects his speed. Like,
well, it depends on if you think that if he's focusing on a certain hashira or something like that, does he have enough reaction speed to react to when one comes from this blind spot? or when they're working in Congress, which is the issue, right? I just don't think
The
that
blinds.
at
I
least
don't even know if they go for his blind spots, to be honest, but I'd like to see that.
you said what?
I said I don't even know if they go for his blind spots. Like, can you show me that
Yeah,
too?
yeah.
Right. Yeah, like in this instance specifically, or like later in the, like what blind spots are you even talking about?
Like the place that he can't see, like for example, coming from behind, like when Sonomy drops down from up top and flashes right through his body, that would be
Oh
considered
yeah,
one of the
okay.
blind spots.
To
And
my
then,
knowledge, go in and I'm sorry. Like, continue. I didn't mean to
yeah,
interrupt
so
you.
I'm saying that if there's an instance like that where Sonomy is attacking him when he's focused on the other Hashira and he gets flashes straight through him, right? I'd say that they're going for his blind spots, and then obviously to some extent it would hinder his speed
Because
because
they're going for his
obviously
blind
if
spots.
the attention wasn't dividing him, he would be able to react to it. All right, we can go
No.
now.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. If they go for his blind spots, that would be the case. But in this fight, I don't think that that's ever shown. They never go behind him unless you're referring to some other blind spots. The only blind
So,
spots that you brought up,
so
they're
Sonomy
going.
didn't go behind him
They
and
never go
flash
behind.
him like you just said.
You said what?
Hold on. Oh, I'll just get the scans. There's instances where they just go when he's not looking and stuff. I'm just grabbing for you.
Yeah, with Tanjiro and Giyu specifically, I don't think they ever do that. But all right, they don't ever go behind him, to my knowledge. But we'll see. I mean, I have another contention with this, but whatever. We can just like wait until like you show me him.
Uh,
Yeah, dude. Sorry. I guess he just doesn't have a scan server or something. Like,
yeah, can you just like make your own scan server, dude? And that's what I did.
I'm not making my own scan script and I barely debate, bro. What the fuck? I deleted
were
my
you
scan
barely
script.
debate?
Barely debate, bro.
Yes, I
That would
barely debate,
explain why
bro.
you lost Giyu versus Rengoku.
Okay, I guess I lost. I don't care for your opinion, bro. I'm not gonna lie. But
Alrighty, bro.
where the fuck? Okay, I see. I got one of the scans. So this nigga's down. See that all focus on Tundra.
1,000 years later.
There we go.
Oh my god, dude. Did Boogie say that shit?
Yeah.
We some. Basically, in this instance, what happens is that Ryan goes down, and then he's finna get back up. He focuses, Muzan focuses all of his attention on what's called on Tandro, trying to attack him, and then Giyu just comes and attacks it before it could actually reach Tandro. He's just defending it. All right, so I don't really see how
Wait, hold
that's
on, but can you
still
repeat
anywhere
that? Like, are you
relevant.
just saying that?
You
So is
said what?
Tanjiro the one that's coming behind him, or is it both of them? Just because I didn't really like hear you.
No, I'm saying that basically what happens is that Muzan he faces like towards Tandra once he hits him on the ground and he's like specifically targeting him. He leaves Giyu on the side or whatever, not really focusing on him. And then when Giyu does it, he just comes and then he blocks the attack that Muzan trying to do on Giyu. I'm not on Giyu. On Tanjiro.
Yeah, well, like, I know that in this period of the fight, he does focus more on Tanjiro. I can agree there. But even then, I don't know how that would affect his attack speed because it's just going to be him attacking like the same person. I mean, if you want to say it's because of divided attention, that's kind of the thing in question. But even regardless, I could grant all this. I am not going to, but I could grant all this and it wouldn't really matter because Giyu was able to react to Muzan before he puts this extra focus on Tanjiro because he realizes that Tanjiro is the weakest link or whatever. So I don't think that that's really like too relevant, you know?
All right, so go ahead. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I can show you what I'm talking about. Hold up.
Oh, that boy Haram is cooking. We sure could have got stabbed. Could have stabbed Placebo from behind. That's crazy work.
Yeah. Here's what I'm talking about, dude. Hold up. You see, it's not like Tanjiro's the weak link here. He's just attacking both of them. Like later in the fight, when Tanjiro gets like poisoned and whatever, and then when he realizes that Tanjiro's struggling, then he does like pay attention more on Tanjiro. That's shown by him like attacking him individually more. But like previously in the fight, Giyu was still able to react when presumably Muzan would be paying attention to both of them because he's like attacking both of them here. That's the whole
All
thing.
right. Response would just be that that dead calm is a technique that's used or that's known to just nullify, it's stated to nullify any attack or ability. Obviously, we still see in the scan in the bottom right that there's still blood on him, that he still got attacked by it. So to an
Dude, that's
extent,
fine.
I
I'm
still
trying to
didn't
scale his
see how
speed.
that would scale anywhere.
I'm trying to scale his speed, like regardless of
Yeah,
whether or
I
not
know.
Giyu
I'm
is able
saying
to
that
scale his
he
AP.
uses dead calm to stop an attack that's already attacking him, which doesn't
Oh
scale
wait, but
speed
how's
anywhere.
that related to the speed? Like him nullifying an attack? I don't see what correlation that has to
Because
the speed. Yeah, maybe
how does that prove that that's a real reaction feed?
that's a real reaction. Wait, but that
Yes.
would be contingent on whether or not like you can prove that like Deadcom has anything to do with his speed. Because if Deadcom doesn't have anything to do with his speed, and it's just an ability that's like correlated to say his AP because it does nullify like attacks or whatever, then that's not going to be relevant to feat or to a speed feat that I'm trying to use to scale Giyu's speed. Like,
Yeah, I'm asking you, how is this a speed feed?
how is this a speed feat? Because he's able to
Yes.
react to him. What?
Yeah, I'm saying that his reaction is predicated on him using dead calm, right? And then we see in the bottom right panel that he's already gotten attacked by it. He literally has blood on his arms and everything.
He has blood on
And
his
so he
arms.
literally
Okay,
says
that
they're
could
as
be
sharp
him
as
getting
blades and
overpowered.
he
But
can
fine.
extend them. So obviously, from him getting attacked, he would know that, right? Dead calm, just nullifying it, that doesn't prove that he's truly reacting to it. For all I know, he got hit by it. He realized he got hit by it, and then he dead calmed it so that he didn't get attacked even more.
Okay, so you think that he got hit and then he didn't react to it after?
Yes, because we literally see in the bottom right panel, he says they're as sharp as blades, and then we see blood on his little coating thing.
Yeah, okay, what do you think that the sword like hitting the fucking whips here is like used to indicate? Do you think that's just
You think this? You said does the source indicate what?
Yeah, no, the swords are shown like having clashing marks with the whips. Do you think that's like after? But even if that is after, I don't see the relevancy here because in the second panel that I showed you, we literally see
Oh,
Giyu
it's on
and
the second
Tanjiro both
panel.
dodging the whip. Like, no, and then we see Giyu dodging it on another panel too. So even if you want to say he didn't block the attack, that doesn't really change the fact that he's able to react to it. Like maybe he's not able to block because like of the force or whatever. That's completely fine. That doesn't like really change anything here.
Okay, he's reacting. He's reacting from a farther distance, so he has more time to actually move out the way from it. I don't see how that
From a farther
really
distance.
scales anywhere. Yeah, we can literally see it. His whips are extending, right? And then we see that obviously they're farther away and they're coming towards him, right?
Dude, It's in question whether or not he's farther away. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, we can see it. If he has to extend his whips a distance, then obviously he wouldn't be close to him. He's not even in the panel.
Like,
He's not even in the panel. Wait, he's not even in the panel. Right in the second scan I'm looking at. Not even in the panel.
Okay, hold up. By farther away, do you mean comparatively to like the other situations, or do you mean like in general, like he's just not like point blank at him?
All right, sir. Compared to the dead calm situation, there's a significant difference in distance because we don't see who's on the panel. One and two, we can see how long that they're extending, and we see that they're curving and stuff. So we just have some
yeah,
type
we
of
see that it's
basis for
extending
why
longer.
the distance. You
Yeah,
said
we see
what?
it's extending long, but like, how can you prove that it's like extending a longer distance than in the dead calm situation? Because you're saying this is comparative, right? Then all you said is that it extended long. Okay, that's not really like an argument. That doesn't follow.
Okay, so you want me to prove that it's a different distance from the dead calm situation? Hold on, I got you.
Yeah,
One
like
sure.
I've been asking you to prove for like 2 minutes.
Oh, sorry. God, how much you drink? Oh, something else.
Chapter.
Yeah, honestly, dude, I don't know how you would ever be able to measure the distance because even if you can't prove that it looks like it's farther, this is just relative to how the author like draws the story, correct? So I don't see like how that would like prove your claim, even if like it looks like it, like the which I'm not even sure about that. I would see that too, but just like
All right, I got you. So oh, I'm tweaking. Okay. That skin that you're talking about is literally what the fuck? All right. So let me
and
go
that
to some
scan literally
let me go to
what?
the same scan. So with the scan you said, that's just another angle of the dead calm fucking thing. So I
It's
don't that shit
another
doesn't even
angle of
happen.
the dead.
It's
What?
another it's another angle of the dead calm thing. So I don't that shit does not matter.
What the fuck, dude? No, it's not
Yes,
because
I just read the
oh,
chapter.
I
It's
can explain
literally
why.
another angle of it.
Let me just get my panels. Like I'll just show you where I sent them. Hold up. The reason why that's not like another angle of the dead calm thing is just because he doesn't even have his sword up here. This is literally just him dodging. No, this isn't him like presumably. Well, I interpreted that as like a clash, and then you interpreted it as him like just nullifying the attack after he got hit, right? Okay, but
You said Giyu's force not out? Are you, what? Hold on, Isaac. Before you continue, you just said that
how can it be the
that
same
Giyu's
thing
force not out.
against anything? What?
Did you say
Dude,
that Giyu's sword was not out?
what?
Did you say Giyu's sword wasn't out?
No, dude, they literally happen on like completely different pages too. Like I can show you.
I literally just read the chapter, bro. He looked like what happened first is that him and Tanjiro they dropped their swords and they see Muzan face to face, which I just in general. But I'm not in scans by the way. All right. Then after that, Muzan basically blows this nigga Tanjiro out the park. Giyu's on the side, and then he literally just dead calms after getting hit.
Dude, wait, no. There's something that happens in between that though. What happens in between is him literally just dodging the attacks. You know, we see like an instance where both of them dodge the first attack from Muzan. Like I'll show you that here.
What the fuck are you blocking?
How does it make sense for those to be the same instances if in one instance he doesn't even like defend himself with his weapon, and then in another instance he does? Like, it doesn't make any sense for them to be the same instances.
All right, so the reason why, hold on, let me go back to the chat to double check, bro.
Dude, yeah, like,
Yeah, he withdraws the sword. He still has a sword out, and what the fuck? He literally has a sword out,
he literally
and
has
then we
his sword up.
see that he blows Tanjiro's bitch ass off the park, and at the other from Muzan's angle, and then we see that he dead calms it. So obviously, it's just showing the same feat from different perspectives, right? And then with the sword out, he just dead calms the thing. That's all it was.
So you're saying that it's showing the same feat here? I mean, like,
I'm looking
dude, I
at
don't
the
know
manga
about
right
that.
now.
Wait, but the reason why I don't know about that is because, yeah, you can say he has his sword out, but what I mean by him using his sword to defend is he doesn't like use it to block. We literally see like Giyu jumping and reacting to the attack. I can zoom in into that. So even if you want to say they happen within the same sequence, there's still like different instances, as in like they're different moments of Giyu reacting. Like, I don't care if they happen within the
So
same sequence.
it's a
Giyu's doing
1
different
second
actions.
prior to him using dead calm after getting attacked. Okay, that doesn't scale anywhere.
Wait, what'd you say?
I said that would just be like a second before he uses dead calm, which still wouldn't scale anywhere because he got attacked.
What? You're saying that's a second before him using deadcom, so it wouldn't scale anywhere? How? If he's literally
Yes, the reason
jumping
why I'm saying
and
that is
reacting
just
to the
because we
attack.
see different angles of what Muzan's trying to do, right? So we see that he flashes his arm, he's throwing it at them. Then we see Muzan's face. Then we see that Tanjiro gets going off the park, and then literally right after that, Giyu dead calms the attack.
What do you mean Tanjiro gets blown out apart? Like, what are you talking about there?
I'll show you.
What's the topic?
Oh, it's like whether or not Giyu scales to White Hair Muzan.
Bro, what? He doesn't.
Facts.
Was that Haram?
He doesn't. He was literally going to let them live. He literally gave them that opportunity, and he's getting jumped. You don't scale to
Thank
someone just because
you.
you're jumping to them.
But we're in the middle of the debate right now, bro. Hold on, sis, hold on. Like, I'm just trying to show him that what happened in the beginning was not Tanjiro, my fault. Was Muzan just throwing his whips at them, and then Giyu just dead calms it after getting attacked, and that's why he's like, "Oh, they're as sharp as blades," and this and the third. They're just showing it from different angles. So we don't see the tables in the first angle, but in the second angle we see him destroying the tables and shit, which obviously would just indicate they're showing the same thing from a different angle.
The same thing as you mean, like it's the same like sequence of attack. Wait, here's the thing. The problem
Yes,
with it
it's the
being the
same
same
sequence of
sequence,
attacks.
like you mean like it's an attack that happens within the same sequence. So you're just saying that it all happens within the same attack, right? Okay, dude, but the problem with that is very clear because even if it does happen within the same attack, we see different actions within that too. So I'm just using those different actions to scale Giyu. I'm using like where he jumps, like I showed you that, right? Him jumping would be a clear, distinct reaction. So even if that happens within the same
That
sequence, why is
Okay,
that
yeah, he's
relevant?
jumping to use dead calm. If you want to argue that he's just jumping to use dead calm, which I don't think still scales anywhere because he got hit, right? So the thing is, we see that in the first
I question
instance,
why he
right?
got hit anyway,
Hold on, hold
dude.
on,
Wait,
hold on. Let me finish real quick. We
you
see in
never
the
proved
top
that.
part of what I sent, right? The same, like Tondro, he's literally like trying to go towards that shit, and then we see in the second instance, what's it called? Basically, not Tondro, that Muzan is finishing or in the process of finishing his attack, and then we see Giyu dead calming. So I don't see how the skills anywhere in terms of speed for Giyu.
Wait, dude. Here's the thing, Quintz. Isn't all of that like intention on like you bringing up the fact that he got hit, right? But then I questioned why did he get hit? You never like gave me an
Yeah,
argument.
I literally gave you a reason for why he got hit. I said that there's blood on his like flannel thing, and then on top of that, we just know that he states that there's a sharpest blade and stuff. He wouldn't be able to know that if he didn't get attacked by it.
He wouldn't know that they're sharp if he didn't get attacked by it. No, dude.
He
Wait.
wouldn't know they're as sharp as
Oh, I got.
blades.
Oh, wait.
If
Let me
he wouldn't be
clarify.
able to compare it with something else that's sharp unless he
Why do
got
you keep
attacked by
interrupting
it.
me? Okay, wait. All I'm
Huh?
saying here is that can be equally explained by him just clashing and getting overpowered. That's why he's bleeding. And then you said that
How do you hold on, Isaac? How the fuck do you get blood on you from clashing with what? Huh?
Dude, this happens with
Where's the
boxers all the time. Like, I can
correspondence?
punch somebody's boxing gloves, and their gloves can like, or somebody can punch
Bro,
my boxing gloves, sorry, and they can come into my face, and that can cause me to bleed because my own fist like hit myself, and you
bro,
can still know that it's sharp
that's
based on
not
the
a
effect
clash
it has on the
though.
sword.
That's not a
Completely
clash.
fine.
That's a blatant overpowerment. That's not a clash. So that doesn't correspond at all.
But all I'm trying to scale is speed there, dude. Like, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I'm saying that it's not a valid speed feat because he gets attacked, but he just dead clumsy. So that it doesn't do any more damage.
And then I asked you, what's the correlation between dead
The
calm and speed?
correlation is the fact that he's bleeding from the fact that he got attacked and that he's comparing it to the life of a blade, which would make sense, seeming that if he got hit by it, he would know how sharp it is now.
Did
Like,
I
what the
not
fuck?
just explain to you how him bleeding doesn't like necessarily correlate to
Yeah,
speed?
you gave up a shitty analogy with the boxing glove and saying how if somebody getting overpowered by a boxing glove and hitting them with their boxing glove, it can lead them to
Yes,
bleed.
that can happen with your
That's
sword too,
fine,
obviously,
but
dude.
that's
What?
not shown in Demon Slayer. It's nothing like that. And plus, a sword and the way you hold a sword is completely different than like boxing gloves and stuff. So unless you can show me like
Oh my god,
Giyu
it's
sword flinging back towards him and hitting him or some shit, then it doesn't make sense.
no, dude. Wait, here's the thing though. Like, we're talking about something that isn't shown, right? You're trying to explain something that isn't shown.
No,
Then I don't
I'm
have to
literally
show you
explaining
that
something
that
that's
thing is
shown. What
shown.
the fuck?
Wait, no. Let me address the other point you made. You also brought up how like boxing has a different stance and positioning from like carrying a sword. Yeah, that's completely fine, but that's not the relevancy in me bringing up the analogy. The relevancy is that something that you use to defend yourself can hit you, right? Something that you use, like it can just like end up backfiring on you, regardless of the stance and positioning.
Yeah, I
The
understood
stance and
that. That's
positioning
what
has
I mean.
nothing to do with that statement. It's
Yeah,
retarded.
Isaac, I understood that, and which is why I said you would have to show me a scan or something of like Giyu's sword going back towards him, which I don't think happened at all. From what we see and from what I'm arguing, we see that in one panel he dead calms it, and then in a panel right after that, there's blood all over him. Right? It just doesn't make sense that there's blood on him if he didn't get attacked, and it would make no sense for him to compare the sharpness of the fucking sting of the
Oh my
tentacles
god.
and whatever if he didn't get stabbed. There'd be no point.
It makes as much sense as what you're saying because you're trying to say that he got hit, but it just isn't shown because on the panel we see that it's not hit. And I'm just trying to say that, yeah, maybe he can get hit and that isn't shown, but that doesn't mean that he got hit directly by the whips. He can be hit by the sword instead of the whips. Like,
How would he get hit by the sword if he dead calmed it? That doesn't make sense.
that works against my argument. It works.
You can't dead calm the attack and then somehow he ends up hitting himself. That just doesn't make sense. That's not how dead calm works.
You're saying he
Dead
can't
calm wouldn't allow you to get hit by yourself. You would automatically nullify any technique or attack that's coming towards you.
wait, prove that.
Therefore,
Prove
we
that
don't
dead
have
calm
no
can fully
actual
nullify
basis
any
to say that it was like a ricochet or something like that and it hit him back. Which
And
most
prove
likely
that
just
it
going to
fully
be the basis
nullified
is
this
that
technique. Oh my god.
Muzan hit him
What?
with the whips and then he dead calmed it to not take any more damage. And
Oh my
it's
god.
also substantiated by him saying that, well, he's so fast. So obviously there's just some level of likelihood there. Like what?
Dude, wait, here's the thing though. I'm not questioning the nullification. I'm questioning whether or not he was able to fully nullify it for the third time. Can you track? Like,
Bro, if the ability is said to nullify all attacks, obviously he nullified the attack after it hit him.
yes, dude, wait. Just because it nullifies all attacks, it doesn't mean that it fully nullifies all attacks, dude. And I don't know if it's stated either.
What
Like,
if
just show me
you
that.
want fully nullify, bro? Say nullify in general, it would be taken as fully nullify unless you have some type of basis for why
What?
it's partially
Prove
doing
that.
it.
What? No? I don't think that follows at all.
How does that not follow? What is nullify taken to be? It's taken nullifies take to make something no longer happen. So for example,
Now, I can explain to you why I didn't follow. Hold up. Because you're saying that just because it nullifies in general, that means that it fully nullifies. But presumably something nullifying in general just means that it nullifies like over 50% of the time. That doesn't actually tell us anything
that,
about how
that's
much it
not true.
nullifies a certain attack. It just tells us about how often it nullifies a certain attack. Because you said in general. Those things are completely uncorrelated to whether or not it nullifies all attacks. Because
Hey,
we're talking
look, all
about like
right,
how
look.
much it
I'm gonna
nullifies,
get the general
not how
definition
often.
for you.
It's
I'm gonna
the
get the
same.
general definition for you so you understand what I'm trying to say. All right, look. It says right here, make legally. No, that's the wrong one. What the fuck? It's also this one. What the fuck? That don't make sense.
Do you mean
This
general by
one.
necessary? Either way,
Make
that
of
one.
no use or value or to cancel out. Obviously, if something's canceled out, we're not gonna say that that thing still works. That's just retarded, right? So the general notion or general understanding of what nullifying means is just that this thing would no longer work because it's canceled out. Unless you can show me that it can work in a partial manner,
Wait,
which
let
I
me
don't
check
think
out the
it can,
definition.
then you can go ahead and do it. It's from Oxford.
Wait, hold up. Make of no use
Bro,
or value.
Haram, who you
is
calling
well-
shit, boy?
Okay.
I'm about to farm you after this, bro. Watch out.
Wait, are you talking about the second definition? Or like,
Yes, where it says to make them, it has no use or canceled out. That's the only one that makes sense. Legally, no, it doesn't make sense because there's nothing legal about Demon Slayer.
yeah, okay, wait, just show me the show me the fucking you know what I'm talking about, the scan. Hold up.
Here, I got you. Here's the definition. I'll send it in chat.
No, I'm fine with the definition. Just show me like the scan, the Giyu one. That you can nullify any attack.
Oh, you want me to send it? Let me look for a dick phone.
Okay.
Like, bro, I'm not chasing down. I'm not so bad.
Where the fuck is that explanation? I've seen that shit forever. I gotta find that motherfucker.
Oh, I'm not fighting you.
Yeah, even if you do show me that statement, why can't I just like equally interpret that as being hyperbolic? That's just gonna be my issue once you get the statement. If it exists, I don't know.
Stop following. Can't leave me alone. Now we are told about sorry.
Here, let me send this. Copy paste it for though. But you, what was your like response again? I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, what was the thing that I was questioning? Okay, so I was
Yeah, you
questioning
said
whether or not.
why is it hyperbolic?
Yeah, saying that I could just interpret this as being hyperbolic if you can show me the statement. I'll just like be an equal interpretation there. Like unless you can give me like reasoning for why it's likely meant to be a literal statement instead of like a hype statement,
It
which
would
like
just
happens all the
be
time.
true virtue of what's been shown of him using dead calm. So, for example, when a causer
Wait, so
uses
it's been shown you can nullify any
tape,
attack? Prove that.
yeah, I'm getting to it, right? So, first I'm gonna get the translation for you for the scan. Let me look.
No,
for
I'm
it
letting
again.
you know you can never fucking prove that because he hasn't blocked every attack in the series. So it's just
That
you're saying
that
it's
doesn't
shown he
matter.
can nullify any
It
attack.
would just be likely.
Never shown.
Hold on. Let me talk. It would just be likely the case that when he does use what's it called, dead calm, and that the attacks are nullified, then we would just have a basis to believe that it's most likely the case, even though he has not experienced every attack, that it's capable of nullifying all attacks until shown otherwise. So.
Whoa, yeah. Why does that follow and build probability?
Yeah,
I don't think it's probability.
it's inductive, right? So basically, it would be that
Hold up. I ain't going to
this
another room.
thing is stated to be able to nullify all attacks. The attacks that he uses it against has been nullified. So therefore, we just have evidence or some type of proof that leads credence to it being the case that it's most likely going to be true that he can nullify all
You just
attacks.
repeated yourself. I'm asking you why that builds probability. You just laid out the
Yeah,
entire situation. You in full
because
circle.
of what's being shown, right? If it's not shown to get nullified, if it's shown to nullify the attacks, that builds likelihood. If it's shown not to do it, then it gets
Wait,
contradicted.
no, dude.
It's that simple.
I think that it built. Wait, like I don't think it makes it more probable compared to the opposing proposition. I think that it just makes it more probable if you didn't have that like new data. Like it makes it more probable compared to like the data you had before, but it doesn't make it more probable compared to like the proposition that I'm using in my interpretation, which is what you're trying to prove here. You're not trying to
You're
prove that it's
saying,
our.
nigga, I'm not trying to prove your interpretation. What the fuck? What I'm trying to
But,
prove is just
no, it's not
that
what I
there's
said.
just not a why there's
You're
not as
strawmanning
big a
me.
likelihood of it being hyperbolic just based off what's shown. We know against Akaza, who is a comparatively weaker demon than what Muzan is, he uses it, and then we see against Muzan, he uses it. So what reason do we have to say that this thing is hyperbolic?
Oh
We
my
don't have
god.
a well, actually,
Dude,
no, we probably have a
Quintz,
reason, but we don't have a strong reason compared to what we have for the opposite.
Yeah, I don't think you've given me a reason either. All you've shown me is that that he can actually just nullify attacks, but that's only like extended to the attacks that he actually interacts with. Like, I don't think that builds probability in the case that you're making your
Nigga, what
proposition
the
more
fuck? That's the
likely
whole
than mine.
point.
Wait, let me
Oh
explain
my
why.
god, what the
Let me
fuck?
finish. Oh my
So
god.
if it
Dude, stop
extends to the
interrupting me.
attacks that he deals with,
Wait, you
then
were
that's
misunderstanding my
any
argument, but
attacks
now you're
that
interrupting
Giyu
me.
deals with, he is
Dude.
able to nullify, which is fine. And that's still what
Oh my god, dude. Wait.
y'all did this argument that I'm saying right now about Muzan. So what's the point of even doing all that?
What I'm saying is what you're showing me doesn't show me that your position is more likely than mine. I'm not asking you to prove my position. You're getting that completely mixed up. You were mistracking there, so I was just gonna correct you there, and then now you're still not getting it. All you're doing is making it more probable compared to if you didn't have that new data before. But that doesn't actually like serve as a reason. That's just non sequitur that proves a different proposition. It doesn't prove the proposition that's in question here. So no, you didn't give a reason. Yeah, if you had reasoning and then I didn't, then that would build against the explanation.
I gave him. You could believe it's not reason. That's fine.
Yeah, do you want to conclude then? That's fine.
But I'm gonna get the scans first.
Hold up.
So
yeah, you can just send them and then we can finish this up.
that
I don't
makes
think
more
that
sense.
you
So
addressed.
that my position is actually more. So. Okay, here we go. Here's one scan. One.
All right, did you send the scans? If it's not saying like anything new, then you believe that you proved what I asked you to prove. I don't believe so. We can just like end it off here. But you can send the scans. I don't mind. What up? Yeah, who do you want? Do you want anybody in here to judge? Or
Yeah, we can conclude after